The robots inside an Amazon-style warehouse do not carry your package. They never touch it. Instead, a robot the size of a footstool slides under an entire shelf, a tower of goods taller than you and heavier than a piano, lifts the whole thing off the ground, and drives it across the floor to a human who has not taken a single step. The product comes to the person. The person never walks. And the floor those robots drive across is not really a floor at all. It's a giant printed map, thousands of coded stickers that the robots read like a page. Once you see how this works, a warehouse stops looking like chaos and starts looking like air traffic control. Start with the old way because it's the thing being replaced. In a traditional warehouse, a worker gets a list and walks. They push a cart down aisle after aisle, hunting for each item, and studies found those pickers walk something like 10 to 15 miles in a single shift. Most of the day isn't picking, it's walking to the next thing. The robots flip that completely. Nobody walks the aisles anymore because there are no aisles to walk. The shelves themselves move. When an order needs a phone case that lives on shelf number 4000, a robot goes and gets shelf 4000, the entire unit, and brings it to a worker standing still at a station on the edge of the floor. The worker picks the one item, the shelf leaves, and the next shelf is already arriving. The industry name for this is blunt and perfect, goods to person. Instead of sending the person to the goods, you send the goods to the person. That one inversion is the whole reason these robots exist. So look at the robot itself. It's low, square, usually bright orange, and it looks almost too simple, like a heavy Roomba. That shape is on purpose. It has to be short enough to drive underneath the shelves, which sit on legs with an open gap at the bottom. The whole machine is basically a battery, 2 drive wheels, some sensors, and one clever part on top. That part is a lift. On the top surface of the robot is a disc that can raise up a few inches and, crucially, rotate. To grab a shelf, the robot drives into the gap underneath it, stops dead center, and screws that disc upward until it presses into the base of the shelf and lifts the entire tower clear of the floor. These units are built to hoist serious weight, loaded shelves in the range of 1,000 pounds or more. Now the shelf is riding on the robot instead of standing on the ground. And here's the neat trick: the lift rotates. The robot doesn't need to swing a heavy shelf around by driving in a big circle. It just spins the disc, turning the shelf in place to face whatever direction it needs, then drives off in a straight line. Lift, rotate, roll. That's the entire physical job. It's the robot has to find shelf 4000 and carry it to station 7. How does it know where it is? It has no windows, no GPS, and GPS wouldn't work indoors anyway. The answer is under its wheels. The concrete floor is covered in a precise grid of small coded stickers, evenly spaced, like tiles on graph paper. Each sticker is a printed marker. Think of a QR code or a barcode, and each one is unique. Engineers call these fiducial markers, which just means a fixed reference point the machine can trust. The robot has a camera pointed straight down at the floor, and as it rolls, it reads these markers one after another. Every marker tells the robot 2 things: exactly which square of the grid it's sitting on, and which way it's facing. So the robot never really wonders where it is in some fuzzy way. It always knows precisely, because it's constantly reading its position right off the ground, marker by marker, like a finger tracing dots on a map. It drives from marked square to marked square in clean straight lines and crisp 90-degree turns, never freestyling across open space. The floor isn't where the robots happen to be. The floor is the map that tells them where they are. One robot reading the floor is simple. The magic, and the part that looks like witchcraft when you watch it from above, is that there are hundreds or thousands of them doing it at once, and none of them crash. Watch the footage, and you'll swear you're about to see a pileup. Robots streaming toward the same intersection, then sliding past each other with inches to spare. It looks alive. It looks like they're dodging each other in real time. They're mostly not. The dodging is decided in advance. Above all of them sits a central scheduling system, a piece of software that knows the whole floor at once. It knows where every robot is, where every shelf lives, which orders are waiting, and which stations are free. When an order comes in, That brain picks a robot, plans its routes square by square across the grid, and reserves the path, almost like booking each tile for a specific robot at a specific moment. It's the exact same idea as air traffic control. No pilot is personally swerving to miss another plane. A controller with the big picture keeps everyone spaced apart before they ever get close. And here's the counterintuitive part. The system doesn't route every robot on the safest, most cautious path. That would be slow. It deliberately plans tight, threading robots through gaps and timing near misses on purpose, because empty space is wasted time. What looks like chaos is actually a very tightly optimized schedule that just happens to cut it close. The robots aren't reacting. They're following orders from something that already knows how the next few seconds play out. A warehouse runs around the clock, so the robots can't stop to nap. They run on batteries, and the scheduler treats charging as just another task on the list. When a robot's battery gets low, the brain routes it at a convenient moment between jobs to a charging station at the edge of the grid, where it docks and tops up. Sometimes just a quick partial charge to keep it in the fight, then sends it back out. No human plugs anything in. The fleet staggers who charges when, so there are always enough robots working to keep the orders flowing. Same logic as the routing. One system, seeing everything, deciding who works and who rests, so the floor never goes quiet. Here's something people notice on a tour and find creepy. The robots have their own zone, and it's fenced off. Humans generally do not walk out onto the robot floor while it's running. The whole grid is caged, and the people work around the edges, at the pick stations where the shelves come to them. There's a hard reason for that. These machines move fast and carry 1,000 pounds. And their entire safety model assumes the floor is predictable, that the only things out there are other robots the scheduler already knows about. A person wandering into the grid is exactly the unpredictable thing the system isn't planning for. So the design keeps them apart. If a human does need to go onto the floor to fix something, they carry a special marker or wear a tag, and the robots are told to treat that spot as a no-go and route around it. Or that zone is simply powered down first. The cage isn't there because the robots are dumb. It's there because their beautiful, tightly timed schedule only stays safe when nothing unexpected steps into it. So it sounds flawless. It isn't. Here's the honest side. First, the robots still can't pick. A robot can bring a shelf across the entire building, but it cannot reliably reach in, tell a black cable from a black charger, and gently grab the right one. Human hands are still doing the delicate part, the actual picking and packing, because dexterity and judgment with messy, varied objects is genuinely hard for a machine. The robots didn't replace the worker. They replaced the walking. The person stands at a station now instead of hiking 10 miles, but the picking is still human. Second, traffic jams and downtime are real. The system is only as good as its schedule and its network. If the software hiccups, or a marker on the floor gets scuffed, and a robot can't read its position, things back up fast. And when one robot dies mid-floor, it becomes an obstacle the scheduler didn't plan for. A rock in the river. The system has to route everyone else around the dead unit, until a human can go out, safely, and haul it off. One breakdown in the wrong spot can snarl a whole region of the grid. Third, the price. This is not a gadget you bolt on. Fitting out a warehouse like this means the robots, the specially engineered shelves, the coated floor, the charging infrastructure, and the software brain to run all of it. An enormous upfront cost that only pays off at massive scale. It makes sense for a company shipping millions of items. It makes no sense for a corner store. The technology is genuinely brilliant, and it's also expensive, brittle in the exact spots you'd expect, and still leaning on human hands for the one thing machines are worst at. So let's kill the two big myths. Myth 1. The robots carry your order around. They don't. They never touch your package. They carry shelves. The whole system is built so the goods come to a stationary human, not so a machine runs your parcel to a truck. Myth 2. They're each little geniuses, dodging and thinking on their own. They're not. Each robot is almost dumb by design, a battery, 2 wheels, a lift, and a camera reading stickers off the floor. The intelligence isn't in the robot. It's in the central brain, above the whole floor, that schedules 1,000 simple machines at once, so tightly that near misses look like magic. That's the whole thing. A printed map on the ground, footstool-sized machines that lift entire shelves and read their position off the floor, and one air traffic controller and software choreographing all of them, so the product walks to the person, and the person never walks at all. Subscribe to WHAMBOX for more How Does It Actually Work explainers.